The leather of the steering wheel creaks beneath my grip as I hold it tighter, my knuckles pale under the strain. The tall iron gates of my parents' estate swing slowly open, as if daring me to cross into the world that has never truly felt like mine. The long driveway stretches ahead, lined with ancient oaks dressed in fiery autumn colors. Leaves crunch and scatter under my tires. A golden red carpet that seems to celebrate everyone who enters. Everyone except me. The mansion looms at the end, majestic and cold, a place I know well but never belong to. Every visit feels like stepping into a stage where I am always the extra, never the star. Tonight is no different. Their 35th anniversary. Another performance. Another reminder of my place. I smooth my charcoal pencil skirt with one hand, my burgundy blouse chosen carefully, elegant, respectable, but never enough to draw attention. That's how my mother prefers me, present but invisible. In the rear view mirror, I catch the gleam of headlights. Eliza's silver Mercedes glides in behind me. Perfect timing as always. She steps out in a gown of shimmering gold, fabric sparkling in the fading sunlight like she was dipped in starlight itself. Her hair falls in soft waves, her smile effortless, her entrance flawless. She was born for this stage, the beloved princess, returning to her castle. The front doors swing open just as she approaches. My father stands tall, every inch the image of power in his custom-tailored suit. Beside him, my mother glows in pale blue silk, her pearls catching the light. Her face, radiant with joy, their arms spread wide as Eliza glides toward them. There's our princess. My mother beams, her voice ringing with pride. My father sweeps Eliza into his arms, lifting her slightly off her feet like she weighs nothing at all. They laugh, the three of them, framed in the golden light of the entryway. I step out of my car quietly, smoothing the wrinkles from my skirt, clutching my purse like a shield. My mother glances at me over Eliza's shoulder. Her smile falters just for a second, only enough for me to see. "Veronica, you made it," she says. Not surprise, not delight, just fact. My father's hand brushes my shoulder in a perfunctory gesture. Then he turns back to Eliza with all his attention. "Sweetheart, wait until you see the decorations. We've outdone ourselves this year." Inside, the grand foyer sparkles like something from a magazine spread. Crystal chandeliers spill light across polished marble floors. White roses and lily overflow from vases taller than children, their heavy fragrance filling the air. A string quartet plays in the corner, soft melodies weaving around the chatter of arriving guests. Everything shines. Everything dazzles. Everything screams perfection. Near the dining room, a framed seating chart rests on an antique stand. My finger trails down the elegant calligraphy until I find my name table 14. A far corner, near the swinging doors to the kitchen. 6 tables away from my parents. 6 tables away from Eliza. My mother appears at my side, her perfume sharp and familiar. "We wanted to make sure you could network tonight," she says lightly. "The Hendersons will be at your table. They're always looking for tech consultants." She squeezes my arm, distracted, already half-turned to greet other guests. I nod. "How thoughtful," I murmur, though the ache in my chest swells. At the staircase, the event planner, a thin woman who clutches her clipboard like a lifeline, catches my mother's attention. Their voices carry easily across the marble. "About the photographs," the planner says briskly. "We'll do family portraits at 7:30. My mother's voice drops to a stage whisper. "That's fine. But make sure we get one with just the 3 of us, Robert, myself, and Eliza. That's the one we'll enlarge for the living room." The champagne flute in my hand trembles. 3, not 4. Never 4. The words slice through me. Old wounds. Reopening, familiar but no less painful. A young waiter, noticing my expression, refills my glass with silent sympathy before moving away. I retreat to a shadowed alcove by the windows. Memories crowd in uninvited holidays where Eliza sat proudly between them while I was relegated to the children's table. Christmas mornings where her gifts spread across the floor in bright, glittering mountains, while mine fit neatly under one small branch. I remember my debate championship in high school. I spoke to a nearly empty row, my parents arriving only for the closing remarks because they'd spent the afternoon at Eliza's choir rehearsal. Always Eliza in the spotlight. Always me in the shadows. By 16, I had stopped waiting for them to notice. I buried myself in business books from the library, drafting plans late at night, while Eliza floated from hobby to hobby. I built dreams out of strategy and persistence, while her crooked watercolors were framed and hung in the hall. When I presented my first business plan to Dad, he barely glanced at it. "Honey, focus on your studies. Leave the business ideas to the professionals." That same week, Eliza's messy sketch of our house went up in the front entry, praised as if it were art. My Young Entrepreneur Award gathered dust in my room, unseen, unmentioned. The pattern never broke. Now, years later, the pattern continues. Eliza sparkles in the center of the room, laughter bubbling like champagne, while I drift around the edges. I help Aunt Susan find her seat. I show Uncle William the way to the restrooms. My father passes me, not stopping, not looking. "Veronica, make sure the caterers remember the special champagne for the toast. The Veuve, not the Moat." I straighten, nodding automatically. Of course. Always useful. Never cherished. The clinking of silverware hushes the room. My father rises at the head table, silver hair shining beneath the chandeliers, his tuxedo cut perfectly. He raises his glass and silence falls. 35 years, he begins, his voice warm, proud. 35 years of building a legacy, a home, and a family. His gaze sweeps the room and settles on Eliza. His eyes soften. His smile deepens. "And nothing represents that legacy better than our beautiful daughters. Especially our Asa, who brings sunshine wherever she goes." I smile, polished, practiced, perfect. The mask I've worn for decades. He launches into a story about Eliza singing at their 20th anniversary. Guests laugh, nod, smile fondly. No mention of me at 15, who organized that entire party. Down to the last candle. He speaks of Eliza's graduation, her hobbies, her volunteer work. 10 minutes, maybe more, and my name is never spoken. He ends by raising his glass higher. "To Eleanor, my heart, and to Eliza, the greatest gift our marriage has produced." The words strike like cold steel. My mother rises, tears bright in her eyes, and embraces Eliza tightly. Pearls press against gold, mother against daughter, as applause fills the room. I clap too, my smile unwavering. Across the tables, Cousin Thomas meets my eyes, shaking his head almost imperceptibly before looking away. Aunt Barbara bends over her napkin. Uncle Philip checks his watch with unnatural interest. They all know. They always have. But no one speaks. I exhale carefully, controlled. My face remains calm. The same expression James calls my CEO face. Mask that reveals nothing, even when millions are on the line. Tonight it hides something far more valuable than money. Tonight it hides my place in this family, the wound I no longer allow to bleed. "And now," my father continues, voice thick, with pride, "a special presentation." My mother pulls a red leather Cartier box from beneath the table. Gasps ripple through the crowd. "For the true fruit of our 35 years together," he says, emotion cracking his voice. He places the box into Eliza's waiting hands. She opens it slowly, and diamonds flash in the chandelier light. A Santos de Cartier, custom designed, with my mother's birthstone at the 12. Guest scarf. Whispers ripple $15,000. Eliza squeals, throwing herself into their arms. They form a perfect picture of devotion. Father, mother, golden daughter, and me in the corner watching. There is no second box. No quiet surprise. For the firstborn, only silence. When the applause dies, I slip away to the bar. But Aunt Margaret intercepts me, her hands warm and heavy on my wrist. "Come with me, dear," she says softly. Outside, the autumn air is crisp, clearing the perfume and lilith from my lungs. She lowers herself onto the stone bench. "Did you know," she begins without hesitation, "that this is the third luxury gift they've given her this year? The spa weekend in February, then the summer in France." I blink. France? She told everyone she won that trip. Margaret snorts. "Robert paid for all of it. He's even been covering her rent these past 3 years." The truth drops heavy in my chest, slotting into place with sickening clarity. I whisper, "That explains why my Series C funding never made it into the family newsletter." That was the same month Eliza started selling soaps at the farmer's market. They called it her hobby update. Margaret nods grimly. "Your $40 million investment round." Buried in the 12th paragraph, right under Philip Jr.'s soccer tournament. My phone buzzes, James' name flashing. "How's the royal coronation going? Escape plan ready when you need it." A real smile touches my lips for the first time tonight. "Standing by. May need extraction before dessert." I tap back. Uncle William joins us, his glass catching the light. His eyes, so like my father's, hold something gentler. "Quite a watch," he says with a small smile. "Almost as impressive as that tech prize you won last month. Shame they didn't mention it in the toast." "Innovation Leadership Award," I correct quietly. My voice is steady calm. I look at him, the weight of the night pressing on me, and add, "And it's fine." William leans closer, bourbon warming his words. "You know your success makes them uncomfortable, dear." "Always has." The waiter from earlier appears, champagne bottle at the ready. He tops off my glass with a subtle nod, moving on before anyone notices his special attention. A small kindness in a sea of orchestrated slights. Sarah, my childhood friend, catches my eye from across the terrace and makes her way over. She's aged well, her familiar face a welcome sight among the polished strangers my parents' girlfriends. "I saw the whole thing," she whispers, squeezing my hand. "Want to sneak out the back like junior prom?" Before I can answer, my phone rings, my assistant's special tone. "Veronica White." I answer, business voice firmly in place. "Miss White, I know. You're at a family event," Alexis says, following our pre-arranged script, "but there's an urgent situation with the Singapore client." I understand. Give me 10 minutes. As I slip the phone back into my clutch, the event planner's voice rings out across the terrace. Family photos on the grand staircase. "Everyone please gather in the foyer." The guests flow inside, a river of silk and cologne. I follow, finding my assigned mark on the lowest step. Mother adjusts Eliza's hair. Dad straightens his tie, and the photographer positions us with practiced efficiency. I stand at the far edge, half my body already outside the frame. Flash. Click. Gun. "Now," Mother says, her voice carrying in the marbled space. "Just the 3 of us for the special portrait." She doesn't look at me as she says it. Doesn't need to. The instruction hangs in, the air clear in its meaning. I stand frozen as they rearrange themselves. Mother, father, favored daughter in the center of the staircase. The real family, the complete family, without me. The photographer adjusts his settings. The guests watch, no one speaks, I remain exactly where I am, neither retreating nor protesting, as the final photos are taken. The image will hang in the room. I know. A permanent record of where I stand in the white family hierarchy. Nowhere at all do I slip away from the party when Mom and Dad pull Eliza to the center of the room for a champagne toast. I immediately withdraw to the father's home office, log into my email, and call my assistant back to solve the work issue. After 15 minutes of checking every chart, every slide, every explanation, we send the new proposal to the clients, and I want to take a small rest. My footsteps echo through the hallway as I climb the familiar staircase to my childhood room. Just a moment of peace. That's all I need. When I push open the door, the air catches in my throat. This isn't my room anymore. Eliza's pageant crowns glitter on what used to be my bookshelf. Her college sorority composites hang where my honor roll certificates once lived. The walls, formerly a soft green, now shine in Eliza's favorite lavender. They didn't even wait for me to take all of my things before they reorganized the room completely. I whisper to the empty space. My fingers trace the outline of what used to be my desk, now a vanity scattered with Eliza's makeup. The shelves overflow with trophies from activities she abandoned after a month. Her childhood teddy bears occupy the window seat where I spent countless hours reading. I open the closet, the last place anything of mine might remain. A cardboard box sits in the corner, labeled Veronica Misk. Inside, my college diplomas rest beneath my Young Entrepreneur Award. My summa cum laude tassel is tangled around my business school graduation photo. Everything that marks my accomplishments, everything that defines my journey, stuffed away like holiday decorations. A crystal clarity washes over me. Nothing will ever change. I will always be the box in the corner, the afterthought, the chair by the kitchen door. I sit on the edge of the bed, now covered in a lavender duve. My hand brushes something hard beneath the pillow. Curious, I pull out an old book. My grandmother's copy of Jane Eyre. My name is written inside the cover in her elegant handwriting. To my Veronica, a girl who will forge her own path. With love, Grandma Margaret. I remember how Grandma would pull me aside at family gatherings, her eyes twinkling as she slipped me books, while Eliza opened mountains of gifts. Books build inner worlds, she would whisper, where nobody can tell you who to be. As I turn the pages, an envelope slips out, yellowed with age but sealed with wax bearing my grandmother's initial. My name is written across the front. The laughter from the party drifts upstairs as I break the seal. The letter inside is dated 3 weeks before Grandma died. Nearly 5 years ago. My dearest Veronica. If you're reading this, you finally sought refuge in the pages of Jane Eyre. I knew this day would come when the weight of invisibility became too much to bear. I recognized the pattern all too well. Your grandfather's family treated me just as yours treats you, as though I were a supporting character in someone else's story. But know this, my darling. You are the protagonist of your own life. I have made arrangements with Mr. Abernathy at the bank. There is an account in your name only, containing both funds and my personal journals. The code to access it is the date we visited the Metropolitan Museum. Just the two of us. This is not about money, though that will help. This is about legacy. You are my true heir in spirit, the one who carries my determination. The quiet ones observe, learn, and ultimately succeed where the celebrated ones falter. Remember, Veronica, sometimes family is who sees you, not who shares. Your name, with endless faith in you, Grandma Margaret. The tears come hot and fast, blurring the words. She knew. All those years, she saw what was happening and prepared this lifeline. My grandmother. The only person in this house who ever truly saw me. I reach for my phone, needing to connect with people who value me. 3 messages await from my business. Partners. James. How's the family circus? Remember, our dinner reservation is still on standby if you need an escape route. Michelle. That acquisition meeting went perfectly. The board voted unanimously in your favor. You're a genius. V. Remind your family of that when they put you at the kids' table. David. We're all here when you need us. Your real family. My fingers hover over the screen before I type back. Grandma. Left me a letter and apparently an inheritance. I think it's time for me to stop waiting for a place at their table. Their responses come immediately. James. About time. We've been saving you a chair at the head of ours for years. Michelle. Whatever you decide, we're with you. David. Your grandmother sounds like the only smart white besides you. I think back to how they rallied around me when we started the company. How they defended me when clients assumed James was the CEO. How they celebrated every milestone with genuine joy for my success. How different from the hollow congratulations from my parents, always followed by. But Eliza. My jaw tightens. I slide the letter into my purse and walk to the wall, where a family photo from my high school graduation hangs. I'm on the edge, as always. I remove it from the frame, carefully cut myself free from the border, and place the small photo in my wallet. In Mom's dressing room, I spot Grandma's brooch pinned to a scarf borrowed years ago and never returned. I unpin it gently, feeling its weight in my palm before securing it to my blouse. Downstairs I spot Mr. Abernathy, my parents' financial advisor, sipping champagne near the garden doors. I approach with newfound confidence. Mr. Abernathy, I believe we have some business to discuss. I hand him my card. At your convenience, of course. His eyes widen slightly as he reads. Veronica White, CEO, White Innovations. He tucks it carefully into his pocket. I've been following your company's growth. Impressive work. Your grandmother would be proud. Yes, I say softly. I believe she would. The party swirls around me as I walk through the crowd, head higher than it's been all evening. No one notices as I hand my ticket to the valet. No one sees as my car pulls away from the house. In the rearview mirror, the lights of the party grow smaller. Tears stream down my face, but my breathing steadies. My phone buzzes with a text from Eliza. Where are you? They're about to cut the cake. I don't reply. Instead, I touch Grandma's brooch, feeling its contours beneath my fingers. The road ahead is clear and open. For the first time in 32 years, I'm not driving toward my parents' approval, but away from their dismissal. The empty chair I leave behind can stay empty. I have a different seat waiting for me, at a different table, with people who make room in their hearts. The crisp autumn air fills my lungs as I step out of my car at Les Fontaines. The restaurant's warm golden glow spills onto the sidewalk, a beacon after the cold shadow of my parents' estate. My hands have finally stopped trembling on the steering wheel. 40 minutes of driving with tears blurring. The road had been dangerous, but necessary. Some distances can't be measured in miles. Through the windows, I spot them already gathered at our usual corner table. James, Caitlin, and Robert. My business partners, my chosen family. They haven't seen me yet, but they're waiting. Champagne already poured. The maitre d' spots me before I can reach the door. Miss White, we've been expecting you. His genuine smile creates crinkles around his eyes. Your friends are waiting. Shall I take your coat? Inside, The restaurant hums with quiet conversation and the gentle clink of silverware on finickina. The scents of garlic, butter, and fresh herbs replace the cloying perfume of my mother's white roses. James looks up first, his face brightening. There she is. I slide into my waiting chair, the one that's always reserved for me, not 6 tables away from the people I care about. You actually escaped, Caitlin says, reaching for my hand. We were betting on whether you'd make it before dessert. James lifts his champagne flute. To the woman who built something real, he says, while others were planning parties, you were planning the future. The words unlock something in my chest. My smile, the first authentic one of the evening, feels foreign on my face, like a muscle long unused. My phone buzzes in my purse. Then again, and again. Let me guess, Robert says, eyebrows raised. The search party has been deployed. I pull out my phone. 3 texts from Eliza, each more frantic than the last. Where did you go? Mom is furious. You seriously ditching the anniversary? The screen changes to an incoming call. My mother. I decline it, but her voicemail follows seconds later. Veronica, I can't believe you would cause a scene by leaving early. People are asking questions. Call me immediately. My father's message arrives next, his voice tight with controlled anger. You've missed Senator Harris and the Douglases. They were specifically asking about tech consultants. Call your mother. I set the phone face down on the table. Not one of them asked if I was okay. Course not, James says, refilling my glass. That would require seeing you as a person rather than an extension of themselves. Another message from my mother. Emergency meeting tomorrow at 2. You cannot escape this time. The restaurant door opens. A rush of cool air accompanies 2 figures. I recognize immediately. Alicia from marketing and Devon from our development team. Did we miss it? Devon asks, breathless, waving his phone. The news just broke. My stomach tightens. Already? It wasn't supposed to hit until morning. James shrugs. Someone leaked. These things happen. Every phone at our table lights up simultaneously. Then, nearby tables too. The notification catches like wildfire across the restaurant. Breaking. White Innovations acquired by Stella. Tech for estimated $75 million. The calls begin almost immediately. Industry contacts. Former clients. College professors who remember my early ambitions. Each one expressing genuine excitement for my success. The restaurant owner appears with a bottle of their finest reserve. On the house, he says. My daughter used your productivity software to finish law school. Congratulations on your success. 2 more colleagues arrive. Then 3 more. Our corner of the restaurant transforms into an impromptu celebration. We have something for you, Caitlin says during a lull. She places a small, carefully wrapped package in my hands. Inside the tissue paper lies a framed photograph I've never seen before. My grandmother at my age, sitting at her desk in the small accounting practice she built during a time when women were expected to stay home. Her eyes hold the same determined glint I see in the mirror. Where did you find this? I whisper, running my finger along the silver frame. Your Aunt Margaret. She thought you should have it tonight of all nights. Later, as I came back to my apartment, I opened my laptop. The email to my family forms slowly, deliberately. Number, mention of the acquisition. No details they can use to make my success about them. Just clear boundaries about my participation in future family events. I left early because I needed to be where I was welcome. I wish you both a happy anniversary, but I will no longer attend events where I'm treated as an afterthought rather than a daughter. Gota. My finger hovers over the send button. Not yet. Tonight belongs to those who see my worth without needing headlines to prove it. I close the laptop. For the first time in years, the weight of expectation lifts from my shoulders. Around me, faces shine with genuine affection. No hidden agendas. No conditional love. Tomorrow will bring complications. Tonight, I'm exactly where I belong. The next day, for the meeting, I choose the Meridian for our meeting, deliberately a sleek restaurant on the 40th floor of Hartford's newest skyscraper. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the Connecticut River like artwork. A power spot. My territory, not theirs. Melissa, my executive assistant, arrives with me precisely 5 minutes before. 2. Remember, she whispers, arranging files on the table. I'll signal when 30 minutes have passed. I nod, smoothing the burgundy silk blouse I selected for today. Armor, not appeasing attire. My parents arrive 7 minutes late. Mother's pearl necklace gleams against her cashmere sweater. Father's custom suit probably costs more than most people's monthly mortgage. They hesitate at the sight of Melissa, clearly thrown by her presence. I wasn't aware this was a business meeting. Father says, glancing pointedly at Melissa's portfolio, just some documents I might need. My voice remains neutral. Melissa, thank you for bringing these. Before they can object further, the hostess leads Eliza toward our table. My stomach tightens. Of course they brought reinforcements. Traffic was awful, Eliza says, sliding into the chair beside Mother. Her eyes dart nervously between us. The golden child sent as emotional bait. Mother dabs at her eyes before we've even ordered water. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it was? People asked where you'd gone. And he was. Family members noticed your empty seat. Father adds, leaning forward. The Hendersons specifically asked about you. The Hendersons. Always the business connection. Never concern for me. I left after being excluded from the family photograph, I state simply. The one Mother specifically requested with. Just the 3 of us. Mother's hand flutters to her throat. You. Overheard that? It was just one photo, Veronica. Don't be dramatic. One photo that perfectly captures 32 years of family dynamics. Melissa silently slides a folder toward me. I open it, removing childhood photographs I'd collected and arranged chronologically. Christmas, 1998. I place the first photo on the table. Eliza front and center. Me, cropped halfway out of the frame. That was just a bad angle. Mother protests. I lay down another. My high school graduation. You both looking at Eliza while I hold my diploma. This is ridiculous. Father huffs. We attended, didn't we? The waiter approaches. Father orders expensive scotch. Mother requests sparkling water. Eliza mimics her choice. Just coffee, black. Tell the waiter, who nods and withdraws. Eliza leans forward, voice rehearsed. I felt attacked when you left, Veronica. Like you were punishing me for being loved. The calculated guilt trips don't work anymore. I simply wait. We told the family you had work stress. Mother finally admits that you've been under pressure. People understand burnout. How convenient. I sip water, letting the silence stretch uncomfortably. You've rewritten my absence into something that requires neither explanation nor accountability from you. Father's face darkens. You have obligations to this family. Your grandmother would be ashamed of your behavior. My laugh surprises even me. Grandmother left me a letter, and funds specifically designated for me alone. I removed the letter from my folder. She recognized the pattern when she was still alive. Mother pales. What letter? What funds? The ones you never told me about. The inheritance I discovered after her death. Father slams his hand on the table, making the glassware jump. You and your business. Playing entrepreneur instead of joining a respectable firm. You think I don't see what this is about? Attention seeking. Just like when you were little. Robert. Mother hisses, glancing around. People are starting to notice. Success has changed you. Mother says, leaning forward. You used to understand family comes first. Eliza's mascara smudges as tears form. You always needed to make everything about you. Even my moments have to become about your feelings. Their tactics might have wounded me once. Now I see them clearly for what they are: manipulation, not love. You're right about one thing, I say calmly. Success has changed me. It's shown me I deserve a seat at tables where I'm valued. Not merely tolerated, I see. I place my business card in the center of the glass table. The embossed letters gleam. Veronica White, CEO, White Innovations. My company closed a $75 million acquisition last week. The news broke yesterday evening, during your celebration dinner. Their stunned expressions would be comical if they weren't so sad. If you wish to have a relationship moving forward, it will be on new terms. Equal respect. No more exclusion. No more Veronica in the corner while Eliza takes center stage. Father recovers first. Now listen here. No. I interrupt. Standing. You've had 32 years to speak. I've had my say today. I gather my things while they sit frozen. Melissa follows my lead. I'd like a relationship with all of you. I say, voice softening slightly. But I know. Longer need one. There's a difference. Mother's hand trembles around her water glass. Father's jaw clenches. Eliza looks, utterly lost. Perhaps seeing for the first time how the family system worked and how it's now breaking. Congratulations again on your anniversary, I say, straightening my shoulders. I truly wish you happiness. I walk away without looking back, each step lighter than the last. Their silence follows me to the elevator, but for once it doesn't define me. The doors slide closed on their stunned faces, and I exhale 32 years of waiting to matter. My reflection in the polished elevator doors shows something unfamiliar on my face. Peace. I stand in my penthouse kitchen, watching the spring sunset paint Hartford skyline gold. 6 months since I walked away from my parents' anniversary dinner. 6 months of rebuilding on my terms, that the antique mahogany table gleams in my dining room, set with grandmother's Wedgwood china, delicate blue flowers against creamy porcelain. I trace my finger along the edge, where generations of white women once gathered. The same table where I was relegated to the far end, if invited at all. Last month, when Father decided to downsize their formal dining room, I outbid everyone at the state auction. The table came home with me, not as a peace offering, but as a reclamation. The doorbell chimes. James arrives first, a bottle of Barolo in one hand, a portfolio in the other. Latest projections for the mentorship program, he says, kissing my cheek. 28 applicants already. Women entrepreneurs who need more than just funding, I say. They need someone who sees their potential. Sarah follows with her husband. Then my executive team, 2 college professors who serve on my foundation board, and my attorney Margot, who helped draft the Family Therapy Center donation in grandmother's name. While they mingle, I slip into my office, where grandmother's letter hangs framed beside my window. Remember, Veronica, we choose which chairs matter. Her words guided me through my TED Talk last month, finding worth beyond family validation. Video already has 300,000 views. My phone buzzes with a text from Eliza. They're still talking about you missing Easter dinner. Dad keeps calling it another stunt. Our cautious reconnection happens in secret texts and occasional coffee meetings. Without our parents watching, she's finding her voice, asking questions about starting community college. Small steps toward her own identity. A knock at my office door. "Package just arrived for you," James says, handing me a small bubble mailer. Inside, a faded photograph Eliza and me at age 6 and 9, arms linked, laughing on a tire swing. On the back, in my sister's handwriting, "We were happy before they taught us not to be." I tuck the photo into my pocket and return to my guests. They've gathered around the table, wine glasses filled, conversation flowing. No one checking there. Watch or measuring their words. No subtle jockeying for favor. I take my place at the head of the table. My place, not earned through manipulation or birthright, but offered freely by people who value me presence. To Veronica, James says, raising his glass, whose white family foundation just awarded its first scholarship to that brilliant girl from Bridgeport. To second chances, adds Sarah. I stand, feeling the weight of grandmother's brooch pinned above my heart. To chairs that matter, I say, and the people who fill them. Later, as my guests depart, I linger at the empty table. Tomorrow I'll host again. Place cards already written in my hand for each person who chose me. Not out of obligation, but genuine connection. At the far end stands one empty chair, not a place of exile, but a reminder of what I left behind and what I found instead. I run my fingers across the polished wood of grandmother's table, now mine, now filled with laughter instead of judgment, with genuine interest instead of performance. The chair that matters most is the one where you're truly seen.